Andrew Blake was a professional athlete, but he now works in commercial real estate and helps coach executives at the highest level. On today's episode, we'll hear about Andrew's journey and how lessons from sports performance can apply to business.
For me, I love the physical elements to anything, but what I've learned in my journey is also just the focus and the mindset is more important.
Welcome to New Lease On, where we talk about the latest in lease accounting and lease administration and share stories of changes in perspective and new beginnings. I'm your host, Matt Waters. Let's dive in. Andrew, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks, Matt. I'm excited to share about where things are going.
All right. Andrew and I met in Singapore actually about a year ago at the CoreNet Global Summit. And just very quickly, I think in our first interaction, I realized Andrew is definitely somebody we need to have on the show. Let's just get this started. How did you get into the profession? I already mentioned you're a professional athlete, but how did you then move into commercial real estate and beyond?
Yeah, I think it was like, for me, it was just trying to keep that creativity. I did a study architecture, but I sort of just evolved into more design and construction for a company, helping them sort of grow, and learned a lot of skill sets around that. Then I wanted to get into real estate, so I did my real estate license, and then sort of went down that whole path. And then that was the sort of the journey from the start for 10 years, I suppose, of doing that sort of stuff and understanding skill sets. But for me, I didn't want to be behind the desk. I quite enjoy just getting out and talking to people and understanding how we can put things together, then, have a team go and deliver the work. But I always felt that if you can go out and find the work for people and, making them have a job, and the whole economic of the climate goes around in circles, that's sort of how I looked at my strength. That was a fun experience. And yeah, certainly growing a business from, I think it was like 20 staff to 150 staff was certainly fun, learned a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I just wanted to, I don't know, then I just got into something now that I'm really passionate about. So
Yeah. And I know a little bit about your story. And I know there's three things that you're involved in now that you are passionate about. And I guess we'll just go through those one by one. I guess let's start in the more traditional real estate market, right? You're working on real estate projects, design and construction, but they're actually pretty cool projects. So tell us about that. What kind of things are you working on in real estate?
yeah, well, it's funny enough, like it's sort of, you go to where your passion is, and then sport and wellness came back around. And that's what I'm really passionate about. And then we're working on another project actually. And then someone reached out and said, look, we see there's a huge need for more multi-sport centers across Australia, New Zealand, and actually globe. So what that means is there's not enough space to play basketball, not enough indoor courts, pickleball, paddleball, cricket, futsal, everything in that whole area.
Hmm.
Everyone's doing single sort of selection courts, but we thought the demand there, and with our real estate background of finding sites, and that's what we're really good at, and then understanding the design and construction process, and then the operation team, and then we've got finance part as well. So we look for sites and grow it out. We're still trying to find investors as well because we need the growth, but we've got a couple of sites already underway, and we've got more exciting things where we're collaborating with other people who've got sites as well. But we've also getting requests now from India, Greece, USA, the UK, which was awesome because they just have a huge demand for basketball. So yeah, we're looking at how we can roll this out globally. It's called Court Culture. So that's a really project to my heart because it creates design, it creates construction, it creates looking for sites, it creates wellness, it creates sport. So really pumped, excited about that one.
Oh, yeah. That's really cool. I think for people that are watching on YouTube, I think they can see in your background image, right? This is an example of one of the courts.
This is someone else's core, their design, but to be honest with you, but I absolutely love it. And we're trying to just mock this sort of design probably more because we're from Australia and we like the color scheme. But to be honest, yeah, our ones are just underway. So we're literally just turning over the design at the moment for a site. So it's all new, but we've got 50 years of operation experience behind the team. So really thought out of how we're going to develop and deliver this. So really excited, but really, starter phase, which is fun.
Yeah.
Everyone says it does take a while, but yeah, it's exciting and a lot of effort and money going out the door. But hopefully, yeah, we're going to make an impact. That's the main thing, and that's what I enjoy doing.
I was involved in a startup at one time, and when I was being hired, they said, "Oh, it's a startup environment. It's a startup culture." And I thought, well, oh, well, that must mean that I get like free lunch and that maybe I can bring my dog to the office or something, right? But then what I realized it actually means is that you work around the clock, including Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah. And especially with the time zones, 11 o'clock in the morning, 11 o'clock at night. And because we're trying to get investors from US, we had a chat with them and the hours, and then Belgium. And but it's so funny. You have to find investors from all around the world where there's a huge problem in different countries, which I find quite interesting. So
Yeah.
solve a problem. But the other thing is everyone says you're a startup, but we've got that much experience and you're like,
Hmm.
but you're still like trying to prove a point where it's already existing. Multi-sports have been around, centers, community for community councils, but this is like going to the next level. So it's not like we're trying to create something unique, but yeah, it still feels like a startup, and you still explain that you've got this site, next site, and we've got like 100 sites already earmarked. So,
Oh, great.
but yeah, we're looking for partners to journey with that as well, which is cool.
Yeah. Well, did you ever think that your past as an athlete would end up colliding with your education and experience in real estate, or was that a surprise to you?
Yeah, it's a good question. Like, I think like I always wanted to be a bit higher in my athletic sort of ability, but a couple of injuries, but also I felt there was more of a need of what I was trying to achieve in this lifetime. Everyone has one life and what my focus
Mhm.
point. And I think for me now, the focus is really making an impact to others. And I really want to help athletes, other athletes. So if I can create centers to create more athletes in the world, and that to me is my passion. So as much as I wanted to be more of a star in the athlete world, I now think it's just come around, but I think my skill set of enjoyment with property, I've been working around the clock. I've just developed, finished off two sort of knock special retreats that, when you're burnt out, you go away as an athlete and you come back recovered. And so we've been working on those two projects and they're sort of completed now. So there's always that how we help youth sport and how we help everyday people become better in themselves. And so that's what core culture is about. We created another one called with a team, sort of how that came about was creating experiences. That's been fun, but we now just customize experiences. We want to get people back into nature. We want people to focus more. That's got a great team. They even do DNA testing and mindset coaching, and they're amazing what they do. And we just created something because we found that people nowadays only focus for 45 seconds, like I was saying before.
Yeah.
Used to be the study about 20 years ago was like, you can focus on something for 5 minutes, and now you can only focus on something for 45 seconds, they say. So that's all backed by research. So if we can get people focusing more back into nature, having that sort of feeling of like more focus, and yeah, so we created that as well. So, and then from there, Matt, literally, someone knocked on the door and said, from a big hotel association, said, we're finding that we need to create more luxury nature accommodation.
Hmm.
They've got beautiful hotels. They wanted to how we could develop into luxury nature accommodation. So we're looking at a plan, a franchise around that program.
Hmm.
Already allocated sites. Now we're just working. We've got a great team that does the prefab build, and so yeah, we've got design elements into it, build elements, nature elements, finding property. So that's another wicked project, and got a cool team that's running that as well. So, and then being half Kiwi, a group of Kiwis have asked me to sort of help with their planning around head of infrastructure for an adventure park. And I can't say too much on that one, but
Wow.
yeah, so we got some exciting projects, which is cool. And then I think everyday work is more the industrial, where we're sourcing sites for clients, lease agreements, and then look
Hmm.
designing construction elements on that. So that's every day. But I've always wanted to have exciting projects, and
Yeah.
but it's having the mindset and the focus and the team around you. Like that's the most important. So,
Yeah.
and my role is finding capital and finding the sites. So then the operation team, they can do whatever. That's their skill set. So it's cool.
Right. That's incredible. I mean, yeah, I've kind of seen this collision of sport and business in my career as well. And I think starting out, I always just kept things separate, right? It was always, I'm going to have a hobby, and then I'm going to have my job. And the two are separate, right? But then more and more, I realize that really your passions can collide and actually benefit one from the other, right? And now, even this year, I submitted a speech for the Kuala Lumpur Cornet Global Summit. And the title of the speech that was accepted, and I'm planning to deliver that in March. The title of the speech is Real Estate Lessons Learned from Running 100 Miles, right?
Oh, that's all right. Yeah. We started that conversation. That's how I think we connected at Cornet,
Yeah,
because
that's right. Yeah. Yeah.
I did that 100K with no training in Mount Kosciuszko, and I did no training because one of the guys pulled out, and then I was driving to Melbourne, and then I said, "Oh yeah, I'll jump in and do it."
Hmm.
So yeah, mapping out like your mindset of just going in and doing things. But
And you learn so much, and it's just so many parallels from the athletic mindset, right? The mindset that you have to be successful as an athlete really does translate very well into the professional world. And I see that so much in what you're talking about, right? You're saying, yes, you're combining the court culture into, of course, the real estate profession, but it's also more of a mindset, right? Like helping people become more successful. Athletes, yes. Also, then taking that same mindset, you mentioned teams. I think you mean not just teams of athletes, right? But teams of professionals can create these experiences with you where they can learn and grow together, right?
yeah, we've taken some people down to like Queenstown on just even like just a mindset, like certain things. We've taken people skiing, we've taken people through like the cycle path,
Mm-hmm.
which is fun. We've taken a couple of people to Australian Open tennis, where we put a group of people through that, and then they had one of the star tennis coach, star players, give them a 2-hour lesson. And
Cool.
yeah, but I think as a lot of people are doing that, we found that a lot of people will look at just doing an amazing experience, but they really don't know themselves about. So we thought, well, we included the DNA, so you actually understand how to train properly for the thing that we might create an experience for, the right nutrition, the right mindset. So with even someone in our team now, like if you want to be an amazing tennis player or golfer, or they can actually get the training to be through mindset to see the improvement. And we've got heaps of case studies on that. So
Hmm.
that's been pretty cool. So that's any professional person can change their mindset.
Yeah.
Yeah, all these things are all around just making an impact on people's lives. Like if it's
Yeah.
becoming new sports, creating more game time for people to play it, if it's well-being, wellness, and then it's also evaluating the property as well. I think, property is a massive part of all this.
Mm-hmm.
And if they could work on how to increase the wellness and property and the creating environments for people to go to, I think not just a building, like actually understanding why in more depth, that's for me, that's pretty cool.
Oh, absolutely. What are the top, three or four things that people learn when they attend one of your retreats or when they get their DNA testing or you connect them with a professional?
Yeah.
Like what are the things that they're taking away that you could share with us?
Yeah, to be honest with you, I think the biggest thing is the right training. Say we've got a lot of guys who've been doing a lot of weights, and then they realize that it's more around this type of movement, this type of stretch will increase this, or overtraining as well. Like we had some guys wanting to do this 50K venture, sort of we put together like a bit of a bike, swim, and a run, and it's just for them, like 4 or 5 people, the
Mm-hmm.
right food, the nutrition. It was just for their executive team. So it was understanding who was the pressure cooker, who could actually cope with it. And then looking at, most people at that sort of level when they're at a CEO, they're so what's the word? It doesn't matter if they haven't trained for years, they're just really conditioned to do well.
Yeah.
So they put so much pressure on themselves and their heart rate goes racing up to anything. So it's just managing that process as well, and showing them that, this is what they need to do. So that test actually does all that for them. So
Oh, cool.
yeah. So what else? There's probably expertise on like actually other athletes who have been really good at car race driving and then they wanted to play golf. So I
Okay.
thought I could pick it up pretty straight away because it's a mindset game and obviously totally different. And but then
Yeah.
in Go, she's put them through this whole mindset coaching course, and they became a better golfer just by understanding they had to have some skill set, but
Hmm.
changing their philosophy and the way they thought was pretty cool. And yeah, it's definitely like for me, I love the physical elements to anything, but what I've learned in my journey is also just the focus and the mindset is more important, to be honest with you.
Mm.
I've seen some pretty amazing athletes who don't train as much and just have the mindset of doing well. And then you've got some guys who train the house down, and it's an amazing philosophy and that's across when you're traveling. Like I was playing in the UK, I played in South Africa, and then being a Kiwi, played in Australia a little bit, and have the same type of people. And when you're growing older too, the 45 mark, when you're getting that older and you're trying to keep up with the young guys and you're trying to find techniques to stay in the keep up with the 20s, and that's always a challenge too. So
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess for us old guys that it's good news that mindset matters, right?
yeah.
That's only so much the muscles can do anymore.
Yeah, always trying to find the edge.
Yeah.
What else can you do to elevate your own self?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Andrew, always fascinating to talk with you. Thank you so much for joining the podcast today, and really look forward to hearing about your continued success.
Yeah, no, I love sharing the visions and what we're trying to do and the impacts we're making in this and across the globe actually. So looking forward to seeing, hopefully we see some projects happening over in your space and your country, and we connect all the dots. But yeah, good luck in KL when you get when you go over to KL.
I'll be there in March. I think it's the first week in March.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, I should need to go back. They've got a little project happening in Penang, so I need to
Okay.
what might try and get over to that. But mate, no, thank you very much for sharing and enjoyed the conversation. Hopefully someone gets something out of it, and reach out if you need to get involved. We're always looking to collaborate with people. So yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Love to. Well, thank you so much. And yeah, we'll see you around.
Thanks, Matt. Cheers, guys.
Cheers. Thank you for joining us. I'd be grateful if you would like and subscribe wherever you listen. Perhaps today is your day to get a new lease on. Would you like to learn more about lease accounting? Check out the CGLA program. That's Certified Global Lease Accountant. You can earn 16 hours of CPE credit, study at your own pace, and earn the CGLA professional designation. Find out more at cglainstitute.com.